Peace, fam. I just wanted to intro this video. It's really grainy, but I was speaking from my mind, and it was meant to be a practice video, but I got out a lot of good points, and I wanted to go ahead and use it. So, hope you can get a lot of insight from my perspective out of it, and share with me from your perspective what you think about the feminine, the female, the woman's experience living in the modern society, patriarchal society in the world, uh, amongst Mama Nature, God in us all. Blessings, and back for another video. Kim Ashley, Traveling Fam, Truth and Culture Promotions, Style and Culture Specialty. Me. So, as promised, last video being about males and masculinity, this video is about females and femininity. I promised that last video about males would be brief because I am a female, and I don't particularly believe it'll go over well for a female to go in about her observations about men. And I agree that's best left up to a man, an intelligent male. But I will go in, as promised, on this video about females. Last video was about 40 minutes long, so I'm not holding back on this one. I have a lot to say. So, similarly, what I said about men is that we're more alike than we are different. We have the obvious differences, ovaries and testicles, which when a fetus is created, it's originally female. Those, what will turn into ovaries, will go lower and become testicles in a male. So that's one difference. The clitoris will obviously grow and encompass the urethra, the urinary tract, and all of that good stuff in a male. And women's milk ducts, men have milk ducts. Men also have milk ducts, but women's milk ducts will protrude a little further than the males. And then you have muscle build. You have muscle mass and body hair. Don't necessarily apply to male and female. Pitch of your voice don't necessarily apply to male and female. Majority of the time, a male will have a deeper voice, more hair, more muscles. Female, less hair, less muscles, lighter voice. Majority of the time, but that is not a rule for masculine, for a man and a woman. It depends on the individual. Like I said, more alike than we are different. So, in the male video about males and masculine, I talked about society's standard for what a man should be. And I don't think society gives a lot of standards for what a man should be. I think men are allowed to be as irresponsible as they want to be, and no entity in society will chase them down and require anything else of them. Nobody will. Nobody will require them to be stand-up guys. Nobody. Nobody will require them to not cheat on their wife. Nobody will require them to pay their bills. Nobody will require them to be hardworking. Nobody will have any of these requirements for a man. But women, on the other hand, from the time we're 3 and 4 years old, we're being told to act like a lady. We're being told to carry ourselves a certain way. We're being told that that's not pretty. Be pretty. We're being told that a man is going to treat us like a whore if we don't. Another thing I covered a lot in that video about men and masculinity is this being a patriarchal society. That's the way the Europeans set it up, so that men control women and keep women down and abuse women even. It's patriarchal society. Ancient human beings, indigenous black people, were not patriarchal societies. Some of them had men doing certain duties. Some of them had women doing similar duties as the men. It depends on the society, but they all had gobs of respect for women. None of them ever thought it was their job to keep women under them. If anything, they even reverenced women higher than themselves. So we're not in that society where I'm not in the mind frame of this patriarchal society. So I have all these insights outside of that. And I brought up the fact that men and women are supposed to think differently. Supposed to. But us being more alike than we are different, and us being taught for so many years to act a certain way under patriarchy, do we even know how men think? Naturally, do we even know what's the nature of a male's thoughts versus the nature of a female's thoughts? Do we know? We're told that men don't like to share their emotions. Women are emotional. Is that even true? We all know emotional men. We know women who don't share their emotions. The women, why don't those women share their emotions? Because they went through some life experiences where they were taught that they don't trust people, so they don't share their emotions. So isn't it the same thing that men are taught? That they'll be looked down on if they share their emotions? It's the same thing, right? So is that even the nature of a man to not share his emotions? I don't think so, I would like to know what the true nature of a man is. And I think the only way to really find that out is to look at societies that aren't completely corrupted by the European colonization. I think it's the only way. So you got to go deep in the African bush and find Native American and Tibetan and other Asian cultures that have not allowed themselves to deviate, that have ancient writings and ancient teachings that they haven't allowed themselves to deviate from. Then we'll know how a man thinks. Then we'll know how a woman thinks. So, about the woman. She's said to be so emotional. She's said to be so weak-minded. They don't want to let women run America or be the president of America because they say the woman is going to make emotional decisions. Now, every woman knows that's ridiculous. Men sit there and believe that could be true. Every woman knows that's absolutely ridiculous. Every time the man goes out to work, if the woman is a housewife, every time her man goes out to work, she has to make hardcore decisions for those children. Not emotional decisions, hardcore decisions. If another creepy looking man comes, knocks on that door, the woman's not sitting back emotional like, what do I do? That woman's going to make a decision. He doesn't look trustworthy. I'm not opening the door. Or she's going to open the door and she's going to intimidate that man to say what he wants and to keep it moving. Women make strong, sturdy decisions all day long. All day long. And actually, if anything, we act like we're a little weak when the man's around because he's weak and we don't want to make him feel like less of a man. We don't want to go hurting his fragile ass feelings. You understand? So, I talked about in the video about males how a lot of women are scared of men. They're scared of penis. We're scared of rape. We're very scared in this European society, in this patriarchal society. We're scared of men. We're not supposed to be scared of men. We're not supposed to feel that way. But men are rapey in this society. We're scared. We have vaginas. We have a little less muscle mass than them. We're scared. We don't want to be around no man alone, especially when it looks like a creep. And a lot of these men will rape children. All the cultures on earth All these men have become so rapey because of how Europeans have told men to overpower their women. They say, you need to overpower her. You don't let her have any control. You need to overpower her. You're the one with the muscles. You're the fighter. You need to overpower her. That's how the white man communicates with the black man. Because the white man's always trying to overpower the black man. Constantly. Constantly trying to overpower the black man, right? You're going to tell the black man to overpower his black woman. And he doesn't feel like a man. So I'm sorry, but this isn't about men. This is about women. So women are always going to feel like women. No matter how masculine we are, no matter how lesbian we are, no matter how barren and sterile we are, we're always going to feel like women. We may feel like less of a woman, but we're always going to feel like women. Why? Because men are always threatening to rape us because we're women. That's why. Men will never let us start certain businesses because we're women. We'll always feel like a woman. For like I said, from 3 years old on up, our mothers never let us forget that we have a womb that we have to protect from men. That's one thing that we've always been taught. And then there's certain behaviors. So all mothers want their little girls to be dainty. I think my mother was mad at me when I turned 13 and I didn't want to wear makeup. She wasn't mad. She was a little disappointed. I mean, partially I think she was relieved because she realized she didn't really have to worry about me being, flighty around boys and stuff. But I still like boys, so I was still, a little girly or whatever, however girly I am now, I was then. But I didn't want to wear makeup. I didn't want to wear high heels and dresses and stuff, And I think to my mother, I think she was a little disappointed that I didn't want to be feminine like she is. And at the same point, I got all my I got all my feminine cues from her. So, I'm sure she realized that down the line, I got a lot of masculine cues from my father and my brothers, though. I got tons of feminine cues from my mom and my sister, but I was just being myself. So, yeah, my mother wanted me to be pretty, and my mother wanted me to feel pretty. Because not so much that I was insecure about the way I look, but because that's all we in this society know how to teach girls, to identify themselves. Your identity has to feel pretty. Like, it's not about, be smart, be a smart woman. I'm going to raise my daughter to be a smart woman. It's going to be, I'm going to raise my daughter to be a beautiful woman. That seems to be everybody's first thought. Not, I'm going to raise her to be successful woman first. It's always beauty. Beauty is always the first thing that they want from us. And yes, I do think the women are the fairer sex. I do think we are the more beautiful ones of the beautiful humans. Humans are beautiful. I do think that. All beautiful. All humans are beautiful. But I do think women are. Men are, put in the position of being the aggressive ones. So they don't need to be beautiful. They need to be intimidating. Men are the protectors. So if women are the ones being protected, just like children, just like in the animal kingdom, all the cubs and all the kits are cute as hell. And it's undeniable that a wolf thinks his cubs are cute. Of course that wolf thinks his cubs are cute. They're cute. Ironically, one of the cutest animals in the animal kingdom, which happens to be a bunny rabbit, a full-grown bunny rabbit, is probably one of the cutest animals in the animal kingdom. But the baby bunny is not that cute. It's kind of disgusting looking, actually, and I think the rabbit probably just knows it's going to grow into a cute rabbit, so just take care of the little weird looking thing. But every other animal in the animal kingdom babies are cute. And it makes you want to take care of them, makes you want to protect them. And from a human perspective, where we can analyze, intellectually break down, think about such things. Animals don't necessarily break down and think about you. The animal's not sitting there like, if you weren't so cute, I'd leave you out there to fend for yourself. I don't know that animals think that deeply. They might. Every animal that doesn't think the same either. So, they might, but we know that, for patriarchal reasons, because of patriarchy, the more beautiful the woman, the more men will want to protect her. And the more tough and rugged she is, the more men will leave her to fend for herself. And that's not attitude, that's just looks. So, is that right? Fuck no, that's not right. If that's a woman, you need to protect her. You're a man. Help protect her. I mean, if she's not doing anything to put the race in harm's way, and she's doing her job to protect the children, yeah, man, it's your job to protect that woman, no matter how rough she looks on the outside. Now, if her attitude is rough and she gives you a hard time protecting her, as a human, she's supposed to learn to get along with people. Just like the man is supposed to learn to get along with people in order for people to have his back. In order for that woman to even want him, he needs to be somewhat of an agreeable man, right? So obviously, there's a myth about an angry black woman, but black people have every reason to be angry. Every reason. And that's a protection, defense mechanism. And actually, it's unavoidable. White people have done atrocious things to black people. And if we hold back anger, we wouldn't be showing ourselves love. We're supposed to be angry. We're not supposed to be acting out of anger. But that anger is supposed to be there. And if white people have to see it, good. Because how else are they going to acknowledge the fact that they are fucking the world? They won't acknowledge it. We could be angry all day. They're still not going to acknowledge it. White people are on large sociopaths. Large numbers of white people are sociopaths. They don't acknowledge the feelings of black people. So that anger that the so-called black woman has, it's supposed to be there. It is. It's supposed to be there. It's a tool. It keeps her on her toes. She's protecting the black child. She's protecting that black family. And she knows that something ain't right about the way white people are treating the black family. So if a black man, if your white boss is treating you good and you want to sell him an image of a good black boy, you would be mad that your woman is angry. And y'all wouldn't even make a good match. I don't even know why y'all together. You probably just got with her because, you're patriarchal and you were rapey and you just wanted her body. You probably didn't love her for who she was. You know what I mean? So get that idea out of there. I just wanted to add that in about the black woman being deemed portrayed as a certain light. No, she's still a woman. She's still a woman. She'll still be soft and gentle for an intelligent man. For an intelligent man who knows and acknowledges what she's been through. She'll be soft and gentle for that man. Yes, she will. No matter how angry she is at society. So, yeah, society does want us to be quite docile and extra gentle all the time. And a lot of men really want us to be dumb so that we don't question the fact that they're not that smart. There's a lot of men out here that aren't that smart because, European society, patriarchal society has made them the men docile. So of course they want a docile woman. So of course they want us little girls to be raised docile. So always some kind of line that a girl can't cross. There's always a rule that a girl can't break. There's always a standard that a girl has to live up to. Always, 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 always. And even I'm not a religious person anymore. I was raised religious Christian, but I'm not a religious person anymore by choice. And religion, it would be about the only way you could use to shame me for being homosexual. So there's some men who think, oh, you want to be a man, but I kind of chop that little myth. I don't want to be a man. I love being a woman. You can't be mad at me for being gay. I don't want to be a man. I can't be a man. I can't produce sperm. No doctor can help me to produce sperm. I can't be a man. I'll always have ovaries. I'll always be a potential child bearer in the relationship that I have, no matter if it's a woman or a man. I always have that potential to carry a child because I'm a woman. And yes, I do want to carry a child, whether I'm with a woman or a man. And there's also, but what I'm saying is there's always this line that they're telling women not to cross. So I crossed that line. I crossed that line of I can be in a relationship. I can be to a woman everything that a man can be to that woman, except for I cannot get her pregnant. I can do everything for her in a relationship except get her pregnant. And everybody wants, not everybody, religion wants me to feel ashamed of that. Like you can't procreate. You're not supposed to be gay because you can't procreate. That's like, everybody doesn't want children. I want children. Everybody doesn't. So you're telling me the people who don't want children have to risk getting pregnant every day? That they want to have sex? But if they don't want kids? So you're telling me that somebody who can't have kids has to be with a man even though a woman who can't have kids has to be with a man even though he'll never get her pregnant because she can't or he can't or whatever? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You're telling me that because of polygamy that it's okay to have multiple wives, but it's not okay for me to have a girlfriend. You're telling me that women outnumber men, but I'm supposed to sit around single my whole life with no man when all the men are taken? No, I like women. I'll be fine. All the straight men and all the straight women can get together, and whoever's left, will be the gays, I guess. I don't know. I mean, there's no science to it. You know what I mean? A lot of people won't ever be in a relationship. Won't be in a relationship for the rest of their lives. They will be single for certain years out of their lives. Why? I don't fucking know. I don't care. Who cares? Why do so many people have an opinion about your family as if you being single is going to deplete the human race? Ain't nobody running around here mad at single people. Like, why are you single? Black people need to procreate and you're single. You're selfish. Like, no, you're not mad at the single person. Why are you mad at the gay person? Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Stop being religious. Recognize that you're being religious and stop. Just stop. Stop pushing your religion on other people. This is so unnecessary. You wasn't invited into their bedroom anyway. You won't never know what they do. So, I crossed that line. I say all that to say I crossed that line of what a woman shouldn't do. And I'm okay. I've figured out a way to handle it. I love men. There's camaraderie. Any intelligent man, there's camaraderie between me and him. He knows that I respect his manhood. He'll respect my womanhood. And we'll go on about our lives. We'll be fine. I crossed that line, right? So there's another line that they told me not to cross as a woman. That's hurting a man's pride. They be like, don't hurt his pride. Don't let well, his pride, like, I got pride. Don't hurt my pride. Fuck his pride. What the fuck is his pride any more relevant than my pride? Shit. Matter of fact, we both need to be more humble. How about that? Like, why the fuck is we both running around with all this pride? So I crossed that line and I came to it and I intelligently worked my way through it because that's not natural. It's not natural for a woman to have to tiptoe around a man. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. We barely tiptoe around these babies. Why are we gonna go tiptoe around grown people? No, cut that out. Get it out of here. Lines crossed as woman. I chose to be in certain trades that generally man's work. Why? Not because I'm strong. No, because I'm not that strong. I don't work out. I work hard. I don't work out. I do a little bit, but not that much, right? Just enough to keep me going. You know what I mean? So I'm not super muscular, but I do construction work and I like working on cars and I like labor. I like strenuous work if it pays well. If it helps somebody, I don't mind doing it. It's a good workout. I like to work out. I like to get my blood vessels going. I like to get sweating. So when I drink more water, it replenishes my cells. The only way to do that for me is to be active. The only way I can sweat out the fluid in my pores is to be active. So I like hard work. I like to work. I like sweat saunas. I like to sweat. So that's me. That's my personal preference. And I'm a stickler for quality. So I just love construction. I love mechanics because I'm a stickler for quality. And I trust my standard of quality more than I would trust most men that I know. Or females for that matter. I trust my standard of quality. So why would I sit back all dainty like, I hope he fixes it right, when I'm going to do a better job because I care more than this man who only is in the construction field or the auto mechanic field because somebody gave him a job that he didn't want. He didn't want the job. It pays well, so he kept it. He stayed there because it pays well, but he's a shitty mechanic because he doesn't even like it. You know how many men are shitty mechanics, but they only stay in the job because it pays well? You know how many men are shitty at construction work? You know that whole adage of measure twice, cut once? You know how many men are shitty with a tape measure? Don't make accurate marks when they're measuring the first or the second time? Shitty. You know how many men will not even take the time to measure correctly the first or the second time? That pencil mark will be so off from the line that they're going to have to measure twice. But they're not going to because they don't care. They only stay in construction because it pays well. They're shitty at it. They don't care about it. They have no integrity about their work. They don't even like it. They just stay there because it pays more than working at the hardware store. Another job they wouldn't really want because they don't even like tools. They're not interested. They just want to sit home and play video games. There's plenty of men like that. Plenty of men that don't even want to work. They're lazy as fuck. I don't even want to hang out with those type men, let alone date one. And I'm not going to let them fix my car or build me a house. You understand? You understand? Does it make any sense? But you know how many men won't hire me to work on their car or build their house because I'm a woman? So they'd rather let a shitty ass man do it. So I have some friends who are carpenters and mechanics and things like that. And they love what they do. They love what they do. And that's why they do what they do. And even when they had to take pay cuts or lose or resign from positions because the white man was treating them like shit, they love what they do. So they're going to continue to do it. So that's not a bash. That's not me bashing men. There's plenty of men who love construction, but its construction field is full of men who don't even like their job. They only do it because they're men, and they won't hire women who love the work. There's women out here who love that work, and those men won't hire them. You understand what I'm saying? That's a problem. So that's a hard one that I'm still maneuvering today. To get the training that I need has been hard. It's been very difficult. And to get the customers that I want will continue to be very difficult. It's going to be hard as a woman. It's I crossed that line that they keep trying to tell me, go back across that line. They keep trying to tell me, don't do man's work. We don't. The men get scared. Two things I've seen men, they get this fear. They look of fear. They're like, if I go to lift something heavy, they do this. They're scared of two things. One, they're scared I'm going to hurt myself. Some men, some of them, half of them, however many of them, 50% of them, 45% of them, 20% of them, I don't know, 90% of them, they're scared I'm going to hurt myself. The other percentage of the rest of them, they're scared I'm going to make them look bad because they don't care about their own job. They don't care about their work ethic. They don't care if they do a good job. So they're shitty at their job. And when they see me to go lift something heavy, they're like, she's going to make me look bad. So that's what it's like working with men on doing men's work. I'd rather not work with them at all because I keep having to go through that. And then you got this tiny, tiny, tiny percentage of them who aren't worried about me because they think just like I do. Like, this is a hard job. It requires you to be meticulous. It requires you to want to be here, or else you shouldn't be here. You shouldn't do anything you don't. You shouldn't work at the hardware store if you don't really want to be there. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. You can't find one good thing you want to do. Just try to be good at what you can do until you figure out what you want to do. Because you shouldn't be in any job that you don't want to be in. You shouldn't. Man, if all you want to do is sit at home playing video games, then you need to, if 20 years go by and you can't think of one thing you want to do with yourself, maybe you should become a professional gamer. You should do what you like. Try gardening. Every human has the potential to like growing food. You need food. You need to grow it. So why not grow a portion of it rather than having to pay for it? You cut down on your bills and you're enjoying it. And I question anybody who doesn't enjoy gardening. I think that's just, I do. I question any man or woman who does not enjoy digging their hand in the dirt and growing some food. It takes time to get good at it. So you should pace yourself. With anything worth doing, you should take your time and learn it. Really learn it. Take your time and really learn it. And it's worth it. It's worth taking your time. So I said all that to say that I crossed that line of man's work as a woman, and I'm catching hell for it every day. It's worth it. It's worth it because I enjoy the work, and I would never hire a man who's shitty at it. Would never let a man come in my house to fix my toilet with an attitude. Like, you better come in my house looking like you eat shit and breathe shit toilets. Like, cause why else is you in plumbing? I like plumbing. Personally, I like to do a good job. I want that pipe to be so clean and smooth by the time I'm done with it that nobody got to come ever and check back on that pipe. That house going to be gone before anybody ever got to come and touch that pipe again. That's how good I like to be at my job. You understand? Does that make any sense? Do it make any sense? So anyhow, see other ways that we cross lines. Oh yeah, so I have a rough appearance. I don't really care about being all extra pretty. Actually, I never did until I never really did care about all the time I've been dating men. I never really cared about being pretty until I started dating women, and I really started understanding if this woman's gonna be pretty for me, I can try to be nice and clean cut for her. As clean cut as I'm gonna be, because my hair is gonna be free form. I don't twist my hair. Otherwise, my appearance is rough. I try to keep my skin looking good because that's sexy. And obviously, I like to be clean. I don't want to be dirty, but my image is kind of rough, like, saggy pants. I don't show my underwear if I'm sagging. I just not no ass crack or anything like that. You know what I mean? So I like my shoes clean, stuff like that. But you won't catch me wearing makeup. You won't, not for a woman, not for no man. Um, I don't like my lips being all greasy and wet. So I tend to neglect to wear lip gloss a lot. But I have something I gotta remind myself, I don't I don't think a man deserves soft lips as much as a woman do. So when I was dating men, I didn't care. Like he could like no matter what, I'm I he should look at me as softer than him at least. You know what I mean? But for a woman, she deserves soft ass lips and soft ass hands and all that good stuff. Man, I'm like whatever, you know what I mean? You better love a woman for a woman. But women, I'm like, woman can have any woman she wants, so I gotta give her a best example of a woman I can give her, you know what I mean? Even though I might be on the masculine side, I'm still a woman. So I cross that line a little bit. I get away with it a little bit, and if and when the next love of my life come along and she requires me to do a little bit extra, I'm gonna go that little extra because that's what she requires. Um, Same with a man. If he wants a little extra, I'll go the little extra, but um, he gonna get me as is. If he likes me as is, then he can get me to do the little extra. I'm not doing a little extra just to impress somebody who doesn't even really want me. That's not happening. Nope. Nope. I do the manis and the petties and the facials and stuff like that, but I do that for me. I like the way I like clean hands and nails and skin. Like I said, I like to look in the mirror and not pick myself apart. Forget somebody else picking me apart. You know what I mean? I worry about picking myself apart. Having, um, trying to cover up blemishes with makeup is still to me a flaw. I'd rather just have nice skin than to be trying to cover up blemishes with makeup. Um, so yeah, I crossed that line a little bit. I don't wear dresses. I'm not that good wearing heels, but I practice a little bit because you never know if I might want to shoot that look out one day, for various reasons. Not really, but every now and then for some reason I'm like I wouldn't mind wearing heels to that event. I don't know what, or a certain dress that heels would look good with. I'm never like, oh, I want to wear heels. I might be like, oh, I want to wear that dress, and then I want to wear some heels with it. Um, so yeah, that's superficial. It's pretty superficial. So there's some other ways about being a woman that society's constantly trying to box me in personally. Um, say maybe the way that I talk. So maybe if I was talking, more gentle and I was trying to stroke a male ego and I wanted that male to, feel like more of a man around me, I would take the time to talk like this. I don't give a fuck about shit like that. I spit in public. I only spit in the grass and the dirt because think it's I don't think it's appropriate to spit on sidewalks and on the street where people walk. I think that's disgusting. But I'll spit in the grass or I'll spit in the dirt because swallowing loogies is disgusting. I don't care who sees me. Stop looking at me. You know what I mean? Like little things like that. If I'm with you, I'll try to turn my back so you don't see the loogie. You know what I mean? You know. Let me see. What else? What else? These ideas of what a woman should be. As far as raising children, it's nurturing. Nurturing needs no explanation. You're gonna be gentle for that baby. You're gonna be as gentle as you can with a gentle voice, a gentle touch, and rock, and just the way a man should. A man should want to be as gentle as he can around that little child. And the older that child gets, the more you can show them an example of an adult and how an adult interacts with other adults because the child's getting older, so they have to learn how to interact with adults themselves and how to become an adult. who can interact with other adults, you know? Um, so no matter what, as a man or a woman, you got to have that gentle nurturing side. That's not a feminine trait. I mean, it's a feminine trait. That's not a female trait. That's not a female trait that I can sit here and say that um, that I have to stay in line of. Of course, I'm gonna stay in that line. Men have to stay in that line too. Of course, I'm gonna stay in that line of treating those children with the utmost respect. Um, Let me see. What else is these ideas of a woman? Um, wow. I think if a woman is dainty, if that's her personality, little and dainty, not dumb, not docile, not docile and dumb, just a little dainty. If that's her personality, being that I'm not that dainty, I will make accommodations for her. So I'll open the door or pull a seat out or whatever is not awkward or weird or whatever, or um, I'll speak more gently. I'll speak more gently for a man or a woman if the emotion of the situation calls for it. Um, I don't want to be taken advantage of people, so I'll speak more rough if I feel like somebody's trying to take advantage of me, or if I'm in a rush or whatever. You know what I mean? Um, so let me see. There really are a lot of ways that society tries to control women or guide women into a set circumstance, and we're not allowed to deviate. Oh yeah, so let's go into this slut shaming. Slut shaming. So if a woman wants to be promiscuous, her church is going to drag her down. Her mom's parents are going to drag her down. Her homies are going to homegirls are going to drag her down. The guys that she dates, and her guy friends are going to drag her down about it. Nobody's going to let that woman get away with being promiscuous. Everybody's going to shame her for it. Her doctor's going to shame her. Her doctor's going to shame her for being promiscuous. Who else do we have to face? Our teachers. Her teachers are going to shame her for being promiscuous. Let's look at the men. Who's shaming the men? Who? Who are those people I list are going to shame the men? Obviously, nobody's going to shame the men. So let's get back to the women. So women aren't allowed to be sexually. Women aren't allowed to own their sexuality. A woman can be very sensual, as long as she acts like she's a virgin, or only one person has control of her body. So if she's got a man who's in control of that, in control of her sensuality, then it's okay. But if that same sensual, dainty woman has a girlfriend, and it's a problem. Oh, she's a sexual deviant. She needs a man to control that. Like, really? So if she's with me, it's not okay. It's not okay that she's sensual and sexual. But if she's in a relationship with a man, then it's okay. And if she's single and, wears a chastity ring or some shit, then it's okay. But if she's single and she wants to date around to find the perfect person, or, you don't know who she's sleeping with really, but if she wants to date around, it's a problem. Everybody's going to show, all those people are going to shame her. The doctor's going to shame her. The doctor's going to be like, so are you dating? She's going to be like, yeah, I go on a few dates, and, but none of them, really work out or whatever. And, well, are you sleeping with them? Or when's the last time you had sex? Oh, or how many people have you had sex with in the past 10 years? Or, all these weird ass questions. That's none of anybody's business. I mean, even if a woman wants to tell her doctor how many people she's been with in the past 10 years, that's on her. The doctor's main concern should be who have you slept with in the past year, maybe. That's the whole doctor's main concern. Why is he asking her about her sexual history? He shouldn't be. No, or she shouldn't be. Most doctors are men. And they ask dumb ass questions like that of women because they want to shame them for their sexuality. Even the teachers is like, you should settle down. You should have some kids. When are you gonna have a baby? They're so ready to shame this woman for her sexuality, for having a sex life, when nobody's questioning what the man is doing. Now, men are less changed by wear and tear. Women are more changed by wear and tear, but that's a woman's choice. If she wants to let however many men change the shape of her vagina over the course of her lifetime, that's on her. That's her prerogative. She can go on the journey however she wants. Not one, especially since not one of those men who she lets in there owns her. None of them own her. None of them, unless she takes some vows to, love, honor, and be only with somebody. Nobody can say that no one else should be there. So, that's on her. If she wants to do that, that's on her. That's her prerogative. Why should anybody get to shame her? Nobody's shaming the man. The woman is no more likely to get an STD than the man is. So why would anybody shame her? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. The man's no more likely to come up to have a child, no less likely to have a child than the woman is. So why would anybody shame her? You understand? It's nonsensical. It just makes no sense. Slut shaming just makes no sense. You cannot shame a woman for being sexual. I've hit that wall. I tried to straddle that line. I hit that wall. Those same things about my work habits and my social habits. I'm judged way more about how I do those things around my children. Men aren't judged about their social habits. When they have children, men aren't judged about the work that they do, how often they're at work, how often they're at home. Women are only women are judged about when it comes to raising those children. Even though it's just as much a man's responsibility to raise that child as it is a woman, the woman is the only one being shamed for how that child gets raised. When it comes to what she's doing for a living, making money, or her social life, she's the only one getting judged. The man is not getting judged. The only person judging that man is the woman that he's in a relationship with. The woman is getting judged by the doctor, the lawyer, the judge, the preacher, the teacher, the whole neighborhood, homegirls, all of his family, all of her family. Everybody's judging that woman. Nobody's judging that man. Nobody. So, is it sensible? Fuck no. Really, it all boils down to the man is able to get away with dumb shit when it comes to the family. The women always have to be the responsible one. So that brings me to this point, and it brings me to the most important point about these discussions about men and women, and that is we got to let each other be who we are. We got to support each other in who we are. We're no different than each other except when it comes to coming together. When we come together, that's when the world sees, okay, let me let you be the little subtle different thing that you are, while I let you be that little subtle different thing that you are from me. Because when I'm not here, you have to do it all. You have to take care of the children. You have to do the work. You have to take care of your emotional self. You have to do all of those things by yourself if I'm not here with you. But when I'm here with you, let me help you be subtly who you are different than me. Those subtle differences, let me nurture those. Let me nurture those within you. Because something about a man and a woman is different. Something about it is. That's why I say it's really hard to tell because we're more alike than we are different. So I can appreciate a man who takes more stress on his shoulders than I do. Just a little bit more. I don't want my man's shoulders to be stressed. I give good massages, but I also date men who give good massages and women who give good massages because I don't like stress on my shoulders. Um, I couldn't date a person who doesn't give a good deep tissue massage. I couldn't. It would not be a great relationship whatsoever because I'm gonna massage them. They're gonna be stress free because I give great massages, and then they're not gonna be able to make me stress free. That won't work. That won't work. It's not gonna work. I'm a very stressed out individual. I take a lot of the weight of the world on my shoulders, as you can see from these tight discussions, the things that bother me and the things that I feel like sharing. And um, I like a hardworking man. I don't want him carrying around weight from 5 years ago on his shoulders. I don't want him carrying around weight from 5 days ago on his shoulders. And vice versa. I don't want that weight on me. So I need somebody to help me get that off of me. Um, there's all these ways we gotta let each other be. So the men are the protectors, right? And women are the nurturers, right? When we're together. When we're apart, we do it all. When we're apart, we're both. But when we're together, the men are the protectors and the women are the nurturers. Usually. Sometimes the women are the protectors and the men are nurturers. Some relationships work that way. But usually the men are the protectors and the women are nurturers, and that's what we come together and we help each other be, right? So if that man needs a lot of solitude so he can be that protector, so he can be unwavering in his sternness no matter what. He might need to go off by himself. He might need to take extra training. He might need to go test his aggression out away from the family. That's a thing. And for me to be a nurturer, that means, I might need to go de-stress away from the family. Just so when I get back home, I can continue to be that very soft, nurturing person that I'm meant to be for the family. And I said also in the last video that in some cultures the women do the cooking, some cultures the men do the cooking, some cultures the men do the hunting, some cultures the women help hunt. But regardless, in this society, the way it is set up right now, it's patriarchal society. Women work, we come home, we do all the cleaning, we do all the child care and nurturing, and we cook, we do all the cooking, and we keep the house in order, and we usually don't require much of the man because we just assume the man had it so stressful while he was gone. In this way, the men really don't have a lot of work to do, you know what I mean? All they really got to do is protect us so that we can do everything, all of those things I just listed. So that man needs to just be there to protect. He needs to protect with financially. He needs to protect, keep that roof over our head, right? So that woman can do all of those things that fulfill the family, right? So it would be good for women to support men in that. This society is pretty messed up. Patriarchy's, European patriarchy has messed men up a lot. It's messed women up a lot too. It's messed the family up a lot. And we're not going to fix it all in one day. So while you know that the man has this pride on his shoulders because the white man was constantly trying to keep him down, you want to help him be as stress-free as possible, But at the same rate, women, we're angry about a lot of stuff too, and we could use that man right there helping us be stress-free. If it's gonna be these man, woman, and child relationships, we gotta really, really stop and think what we're asking that other person to do. what we're asking them to put up with. In a large part, when that man is around, that woman's not supposed to deal with other men, do business with other men. Like, so if you go into the bank and then the bank loan officer is a man and you're trying to get a home loan for you and your man, you and your husband are trying to get a home loan, you're going to mainly let the man do the talking to that man. If a contractor is a man, comes to the house and he's going to fix something and he's a man, you're going to mainly let the man do the talking. And vice versa, if the contractor comes and it's a woman who's going to do whatever work to the house, or if the loan officer is a woman, you're going to mainly let the woman do the talking to that other woman. You're not going to shut up like a child. You're just going to let her control the communication with that woman, and vice versa. You're going to let him control that communication with that man. Why? Because of patriarchy. I can't say would it be any different without patriarchy, but I do know patriarchy. Because of patriarchy, you don't force your woman to be subjected to another man's what do you call it? Wanting her to be submissive. You don't let another man talk to her in a way that forces her to be submissive to him. That's disgusting. No. Your woman, it's not your job for your woman. She could submit to you. In this patriarchal society, she could submit to you. You asking her to submit to other men is uncalled for. And so similarly, you got one woman who submits to you. It's no reason for you to be walking around in these streets thinking all these other women are supposed to be submissive to you because you're a man. That's uncalled for. Patriarchy only requires a wife to submit to a husband, not women to submit to every man in society. That's disgusting. That's rapey. That's not necessary. So if you're not home and a man comes to the contractor comes to the door before you get home and the woman has to talk to him, that man should respect that. I don't get to make this woman feel uncomfortable by being aggressive about the service that I'm offering. I can be aggressive with a guy. I can't be aggressive with this woman. So I have to respect that she might not want me here right now. And the woman, she should feel comfortable enough to go to the door and say, look, well, come back at a, so-and-so time. Or if the woman feels like safe around the guy, then she can conduct the business that she needs to with the guy, But there needs to be communication, and everybody got to be there for each other so that everybody can be who they are supposed to be naturally. Naturally a male, naturally a female, naturally masculine, naturally feminine, naturally androgynous, naturally humble, naturally aggressive, whatever it is that you feel is your personality, you should be able to be that as a man or a woman. Because basing anything off of patriarchal society is not natural. I feel like there's a lot more I should say about women. I'll talk about women's relationship with women. That's a good one right there. I didn't talk about men's relationship with men. I do feel like men oftentimes put each other above women because that's their way of not submitting to their woman. They don't want to submit to their woman, so they'll go to their brother and they'll put him first as a way of saying, I don't have to submit to you, lady. This child is really boyish. It's like, the Little Rascals with the boys club, the boys clubhouse, not letting the girls in. Like, that's how that feels. It's really childish. You should have better communication with your wife rather than trying to put her on the back burner so she doesn't hurt your pride. That doesn't make any sense. So as far as women's relationship with women, see, I don't have a whole lot to say bad about men. I try to keep it brief about them. I'm not a man. But as far as women's relationship with women, I think sometimes it gets hard to trust because of patriarchy. Because if my homegirl comes over because of patriarchy, she has to be submissive to my man. My homegirl ain't got no relationship with my man to have to be submissive to him. He ain't even supposed to talk to her without my permission. So there's no relationship of submissive and what's the opposite of submissive? Submissive? Dominant. There's no dominant submissive relationship between my homegirl and my man. Fuck out of here with that. But because of patriarchy, we go into our homegirl's house and we're like, hey, Johnny. And we're over here waiting to be spoken to if Johnny speaks to us or something. Like, no, fuck that. It should be more like, what up, John? And that's that. Because we don't have a relationship beyond me and my homegirl's relationship. My homegirl want me to speak to you, I'll speak to you. That's the only time I'll speak to you. Why? Because of patriarchy. Men are rapey. Men have this idea that they get to control every woman in the room. Like, no, you get to control the woman that is yours. So women have this idea that we got to watch the women around us because that woman is being submissive to my man. And you can only imagine the type of thoughts that come with that. Like what they doing when I walk out of the room. How they talking to each other when I ain't around. Do he call her? Do they be talking on the phone? Do they hang out? Are they cheating? You know, it just goes from zero to there real quick because you saw your homegirl being submissive to your man. When she shouldn't be submissive. He's not her man. He's just a random nigga to her. She's just a random female to him. There's no reason why he should be dominating her. There's no reason for it. So because of patriarchy, we have these issues when it comes to other women around our man. We're kind of, we do this. And we just watch. Like, when it's your homie. That's your best friend. And you, all of a sudden, she coming in because you and your man right there, because your man right there, all of a sudden, you don't trust her? Or vice versa? Because your homegirl right there, all of a sudden, you don't trust your man? That's your man. It's the love of your life. What have it? It just all falls apart because patriarchy puts in these ideas in our head that men get to own everything walking, all the females walking. Men get to control and run them, tell them what to do, and they should want to. The women should want to drop to their knees to please these men that own this house or run this bit or drive that car. Like, ew. Ew. So even when the men ain't around, women are competing. Because we know that a man's coming. A man is coming. He's going to walk down the street. Eventually, we both might like him. We both might have a crush on him. So we already in competition for a man coming around the corner that we don't even know who he is. We already competing because we know he coming. Like, come on, that's kind of where we are with women. That's kind of this competition thing between us. And I hate to say that it's the only thing between us, but it really kind of is. Like, we compete how we raise our children. We look down on each other. We trying to tell each other how to raise our children. We trying to tell each other how to dress. We trying to insult each other the way we dress. We get jealous. We get really jealous of each other like that. And I think patriarchy has everything to do with it. I could be off. I would love some input. I would love some ladies to chime in on this, to give me some ideas on where you think some of this competition and jealousy between women come from. I think it's patriarchy. I think it's this fucked up idea that white men put in black men's heads or in white men's heads that they're allowed to screw anything walking. And they're not wrong for it. The woman's going to be wrong. It's going to be her fault. He's expected to do it. So, yeah, that's a huge part in in this discussion about females and our nature as females. Women aren't 100% visual. We think a lot. We're very analytical. Women are very, very analytical. So don't ever let anybody try to tell you that a woman is 100% emotional or even 50% emotional. We think all the time. We're in constant thought. It takes tons of thought to protect these babies. You can't be emotional protecting babies all day long. It's an analytic. Woman is analytical. Very. To take it from me, I'm a very visual person. When it comes to what did we talk about? Men, how men are very visual when it comes to sex. I'm very visual when it comes to sex. Extremely. So there's no cut and dry method of thought for men and women. Like, it's so fluid, and everybody's different. Every man is different. Every woman is different. Every human being is emotional. Some of us just learn to hide it. Some of us just learn to express it. Everybody's emotional. And as far as women go, and females go, we do so much in this society. We do everything. We are expected to do everything, including heavy lifting. At home, we do so much heavy lifting. Carrying a child around all day? I don't know a mother that doesn't have guns. I don't know one mother that doesn't scoop that 30-pound baby up like this. I don't know one mother that doesn't. So, yeah, I would completely advise against judging people based off their gender. This society tells you that gender is a social construct. It's a mental feeling. No. Gender and sex are the same exact thing. The only reason they're saying gender is different because they're trying to find a reason to justify someone wanting to be a man wanting to be a woman and a woman wanting to be a man. There's no real justification for it. If you're a man and you're very feminine, you're a very feminine man. You don't owe an explanation to anybody. But you're not a woman. You could be a very feminine man. You don't owe anybody an explanation about that. The way you want to dress, you don't owe nobody an explanation about that. You want to dress like a woman, you don't owe anyone an explanation about why you dress like a woman. But you kind of got to stop telling people that you are a woman, because you're not. You're not a woman. And vice versa. For the woman, if you're masculine, that's who you are. Nobody's going to change you. You're not going to change. You probably tried. It doesn't work. You're not going to change. You're going to be a masculine ass woman for the rest of your life. But you're confusing people you're confusing children even when you tell those children that you're changing to a man, because the children are like, oh, so I can make babies if I decide to. I can change to a man and I can make babies with a woman. Nope. No, you can't. You'll never be a man. She will always have to go to a man for sperm. She will always have to go to a man and a doctor together. The doctor's she got to find a man to give his sperm to the doctor to make her a baby. So stop with the weird things that never change. Gender and sex are the same exact thing. If your sex is female, your gender is female. If your sex is male, your gender is male. Science doesn't get to change the definition of gender all of a sudden. Gender always meant what gender meant. Now, femininity and masculinity always mean what they mean. There's no changing of those. If I say I'm feminine, it doesn't mean I'm a woman. If I say I'm masculine, it doesn't mean I'm a man. It just means that I'm feminine or I'm masculine. So, to each his own. Everybody is different. Well, I feel like I'm bit by a mosquito under my sweatshirt. I don't know. But I'm a little tired and I'm not really sure where to go next with this subject. So I would say that I have completely talked about everything I want to talk about with the subject of femininity and females. I guess I'll go here. The last final thing I'll say this is that if you do study ancient societies, indigenous black societies, black and brown, you will find that the woman is God. You will find out God is a woman. You will find out that all human women are the incarnation of God. Women are to be worshipped. Now, men and women, because we're not that much alike, men are also God. But it is the feminine quality in them that is their God. That is the God of them. It's the godly part of them. So, human beings are created in the image of God. If you believe this. If you don't believe it, then just take it as mythology or whatever. But if you do, follow me. Human beings are created in the image of God. God is a woman. The womb where the children are brought forth is the universe. So, human beings' only chance of healing from everything that we've gone through with patriarchy would be to reverence the woman as God. That would be the way to heal. I don't see white people changing that anytime soon about their own society. So, indigenous people, black people, do yourself a favor. Reverence your God. Reverence the femininity in yourself. Reverence your God in yourself, your higher self, your God, your feminine side. Reverence that. There's some beautiful men, some very strong, powerful, tough men who know how to speak how they feel, who know how to verbalize their feelings in a way that doesn't come across like they're crying or that they're weak or that they're punks, but that they're strong in their convictions and they know what they are doing and they know what they want at all times, enough to be able to say it. So that's masculinity right there. That's the masculine having the power to put forth and to manifest and to insert your feelings in any situation. That's masculinity. In a way that only femininity can create. So God bless the female. God bless the femininity. Goddess. Style and culture. Truth and culture promotion. Traveling fam. Kim Ashley. Peace.